if you happen to be in the mood for a movie and you happen to be like perusing through Hulu, like we do sometimes, and you come across American Underdog, and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna watch that. Heads up, it doesn't have audio description because it's on Hulu. Yep. But I watched it anyway. Not on Hulu, with audio description, so I could review it. Just in case anybody's interested in American Underdog. So, what's up? And just a reminder, if you've first time to my channel, I'm a blind film critic, so we're going to talk about audio description. That's that thing I was talking about earlier, and you were like, what is that? The description of audio? Is that like, is this like somebody talking about music? No, that's not what it is. It describes what's going on in the scene for people who can't see. So, for example, when he's running down the field in this film and doing all his football plays, we get the audio description for that. So, what is this film about? First of all, I want to say that this is kind of a hilarious coincidence because this film is about Kurt Warner, who went undrafted straight out of college, and he ended up working at a grocery store and then getting into arena football, and then finally ended up being in the NFL. I don't watch football, and I knew who Kurt Warner was, so I knew this was a big enough story. I had no idea this was his background. I did not know this is where he came from, because I don't watch football, but I do know who he is. If somebody said Kurt Warner to me, I'd be like, oh, he's a quarterback. He's a pro football. I didn't know if he retired or not. I didn't know that much, but I know he's a football player, right? So I know who he is. So yeah, but the thing that I found really interesting was that Dennis Quaid is in this, and it's like the circle has come back around to Dennis Quaid's circle of life. The circle, Natsapenya. This is the circle of life has come back to Dennis Quaid because around the same time that Kurt Warner was doing his real life NFL, old man rookie story, Dennis Quaid was starring in a movie called The Rookie about an old guy joining pro baseball. So what a person to cast in this film. A person who literally played this in a biopic but about a baseball player is now doing the same thing for somebody who is a football player. Maybe one day we can get Dennis Quaid and Zachary Levi together to do the oldest hockey rookie or the oldest basketball rookie or something. Just become this series where they just keep appearing in each other's films. But no, this is the Kurt Warner biopic, because his story is interesting enough to warrant a biopic. I don't know. I heard some rumorings on the internet that this was faith-based. I mean, I guess if you want to lasso in any time a film ever mentions God, if you just want to rope it in there. But there's nothing there's a couple mentions about God, but this is not a Christian film. It might be family friendly. It might, he might be a nice guy, and this might be a film that you can take your kids to, but this is not a preachy, I don't know, Bible quotes, Jesus saves, I saw heaven type of thing. This is not that. There's no, well, if you just read the Bible, you'll go far in life story. This is just somebody working really hard to achieve their dream that they believe that they can achieve. So it's more of just an inspirational sports drama, and I love sports dramas. Is it the greatest sports drama ever? Not really. I think it's kind of cute that Zachary Levi is in this because I kind of always think of him as Chuck. And he wasn't really jacked back then, so to see him playing a football player in this is kind of hilarious. But I know he got ripped to play Shazam, so I'm sure he just kept that physique for this film so that he could play the American underdog, Kurt Warner. We got Anna Paquin is in this too, so there's actually it's a little bit of a decent cast in this. I was surprised. I didn't really know much about it. Actually, I didn't know anything about it. I think I read like a box office article once that mentioned it around the time it was released. It was talking about like the Christmas box office. And I think that like all I picked up on it was that it was referred to as being a faith-based film. And I was like, oh, all right, well. And then it came back around to it and I decided to watch it because I ended up liking Redeeming Love, which was also referred to as a faith-based film because that was like the weirdest film ever that puts one character through just absolutely hell and back. But that's a weird film to call a faith-based film. It's full of a lot of stuff that doesn't normally appear in Christian films. But this is just a football movie. It's just The Rookie, but football. Yeah, so it's fine. I don't need to keep it. It follows all of the beats that first of all, as soon as you know that it's Kurt Warner, you're like, well, we know where this story is going. So there's no like surprise to anything. You know that like everything's going to magically work out somehow. He's going to find his way to the NFL. It's not a surprise. Yeah, it was fine. I liked it enough. Do I love it? No. Do I think there are better sports movies? Sure, definitely. But I was okay with this, especially with a biopic and the guy's still alive. There's only just so much, even if Kurt Warner was like a fall down drunk who, I don't know, had some terrible things that he did along the way. He's producing his own biopic. Certain things he's going to have control over, and he doesn't want it to appear in the film. It's not going to appear in the film. So you get a sanitized version no matter what. It might even be something very mundane that he just views as something that he didn't want to include in the film. He doesn't want everybody to know. He's like, I don't want everybody to know that I'm vegan. Like, I don't know. Could be that. But because he has control over his own biopic, he is a producer on the film. So is his wife. They were listed in the credits. So that's it. I also like this film because in the audio description we have, yes, I don't know why, but I've been blessed with Jedediah Barton and the audio description. So I had great audio description. It was nice, very nice to hear his voice. And this film is not easy to describe because you have to, maybe this is my first film that I've reviewed. It's a sports drama. But there are several like football plays and you have to actually use the lingo, like drop back, toss a spiral, juke. I heard juke a lot. Juke's a player. He gets sacked. The positions of the players. So there was a lot of really good work done meticulously to put people into the play, because one of the things we can do totally is listen to football announcers announcing games. We don't have to be able to see the game. So there's going to be a lot of people who are football flans. Yep, you're a football flan, and also blind, and looking to this film because you're interested in learning more about Kurt Warner, and you know your football stuff and your football lingo, and it can't be faked. So I felt like this was real. I felt like it wasn't faked. The little bit that I do know about football, I do believe that this was a solid description of that. The rest of the character description is interesting. There's a blind kid in the film. I don't know if he was played by a blind child actor, but it was a fine performance. He doesn't really have that much to do. But it's interesting that Kurt ends up uh, finding this Brenda who already has 2 kids from her ex-husband, and Kurt just sort of steps in and raises them. And the oldest one is actually blind from an accident, and he's little, and Kurt just steps in there and takes care of them. And there's this whole thing about a foundation again, and so it's actually even kind of cool for our community. If you're not blind, it's kind of cool because you're probably here because you're a football fan, I'm guessing. Either that or else you were hoping I would tell you whether or not Zachary Levi takes off his shirt at any point in the film. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know whether or not he does. I think he does. I can't guarantee that. Um, it's a family film, so I can tell you Anna Paquin doesn't. Um, but I don't know. There might be some scene where Zachary is changing his jersey or something. I don't know. But yeah, so good audio description. The film's good. Not a great film, but good. So that equates to a solid experience. I had a nice, solid experience. It would be nice if Hulu decided to offer audio description for this to make it more accessible so that people don't have to hunt this film down on their own. But I did. I hunted this film down, just to spite Hulu. Just to let Hulu know that they didn't get my click. They didn't get me to watch American Underdog. So whatever money they make, I don't know, off of each view, they didn't get this one. So, that's what happens when you don't attach audio description to a film that has audio description, Hulu. But that's about it for this review. I think I can wrap up. I'm going to give American Underdog a B. Yeah, I've seen so many sports movies. It's not that it's bad. It's just there are like so many sports movies that I could watch that, especially even like football ones. Invincible with Mark Wahlberg is really good. I love The Replacements. I don't know that we're supposed to take that one seriously, but I love it with Keanu Reeves. That's a fun film to watch. So yeah, there's some really good sports. There's other sports: Coach Carter, Glory Road, Miracle. Obviously the Mighty Ducks. Big fan of the Mighty Ducks. I like the whole franchise there. So I'm glad that this is out there, though. It was a nice entry and a nice time. It's a nice under 2-hour film. So let me know what you think about American Underdog. Have you seen it? Are you a big Kurt Warner fan? Are you a big St. Louis Rams fan? Are you a big Arizona Cardinals fan? Are you a fan of anything? Do you know what a fan is? Do you have fans in your home? Do you have ceiling fans or box fans? Or like, those old school hand fans from back in the day where, like Gone with the Wind, they used to fan themselves back in that time period. Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and tell all your friends about me, and especially the blind ones, so that we can reach people and let them know there's somebody out there who's trying to review audio description. And you can check out my website, macthemovieguy.com, for more reviews. And you can check out the audio description project, which will let you know what films are described and how to watch them, where they are, what streaming services, or if you got to buy a DVD, or how you can access it. And also the adna.org, the ADNA.org. So that way, if you really like an audio describer, like if you end up becoming a big fan of this guy, Jedediah Barton, you can go on there and put his name in and see what else he's describing. Or if you're ever wondering what voice is, or if you think you've heard somebody before but you don't know what it was on, it's a great resource. It is user done and not industry done, so it doesn't have all of the information in the world, but maybe one day it will. So that'd be cool. IMDb started out somewhere too, so maybe the Adnan will get there one day. That's it from me. Until next time, go audition, go try out for a audition, go try out for another football team. That's it.